So through the triple jump, one of the main things we're looking for is to maintain balance through the jump that allows us to maintain effective postures and therefore effective jumping mechanics throughout the whole jump. So that starts with having the correct posture, where we're looking to always have our ears over our feet. So in keeping this line, we can always stay balanced, whereas if we have our trunk forwards, now our center of mass goes in front of us and we're going to be rotating forwards through the jump. So we're always looking to have our ears over our feet whenever we're moving and jumping through the triple jump. Now we need to create stability in this position, and we do this by having effective landing mechanics, where again we've got this balanced position, so every time we land we want to be landing trying to get our feet back under the hips with this strong flat foot contact. So this is going to form the basis of our jumping, is to learn how to land with a flat foot contact and our ears over our feet. Now of course, as we're moving forward through the jump, we can't land with our foot under our hips because we won't have time to apply our forces. What we are going to do is, as we're moving forwards, strike the foot slightly ahead of the body, but still with that flat foot stiffness in our contact, and then we use this lever that we've set up to help us lift through the air. So although we're not going to land with our foot directly under our hips, we are going to have this active flat foot contact, and we're going to be pulling that foot back under the hip to use the lever and to keep the balance throughout the jump. Now as we do so, we're looking to minimize knee flexion. We don't want this knee to bend so that we then have to push through the jump. We're only going to be on the ground for less than 0.2 of a second, so we don't have time for this bending and pushing with the concentric force in our legs. We need to use the elastic component to use the tendons to stretch and to release energy, and then we can create our jump within that 0.2 of a second. So as we're having our active strike on the ground and we're pulling that foot under the hip, we're trying to minimize that knee flexion and use the elastic component through the jump. So that's the basic action of our takeoff leg, that active strike back under the hips with the flat foot and creating stiffness through that takeoff leg. But then we also need to use the free leg to help us generate height in the jump. So we're looking for this free knee to swing to parallel with the toe up nice and high to help with that hip flexion. And as we do so, we want to try and time that free knee with the takeoff leg to keep that balanced position and to keep that timing in the jump. So we should have an active strike, and as our toe comes off the ground, we want to see that knee get to its parallel position. Now we'll know we've got the timing of this free knee correct if, one, we see it reach this high knee block as the toe comes off the ground, but also when we're at mid stance, where we have the weight over our foot, we should see our knees together on the ground. This tells us that we have good timing in our takeoff. Now this is going to be really important throughout the jump, because as soon as we get out of shape in one of our jumps, we're going to have this forwards rotation or backwards rotation if we're early or late, and this is going to affect our ability to perform the next phase of the triple jump. So the triple jump is all about maintaining this position and maintaining this timing and this rhythm through the jump. Now of course, if we want to have balance through our jump, we need to also have the arms counterbalancing what the leg action is doing. So most of our athletes are going to have an opposite arm and leg action, although some triple jumpers do use a double arm shift. But either way, what we're looking for is that our arms are in time with our legs to sync up that movement, and that what we're doing with our arms is balancing what we're doing with our legs. So we have a long arm at the back counterbalancing that long takeoff leg, and we have an arm and a shoulder driving forwards with that front arm to counterbalance this forward and upwards drive of our free knee. So we'll have a long back arm and a shorter front arm counterbalancing that leg action. If we have a double arm shift, we're going to have both arms driving from the shoulder in the same way that we have that free knee driving from the hip throughout the takeoff. So some excellent exercises for teaching these basic jumping positions throughout the triple jump are using our jumping and landing exercises, where we're learning how to keep that upright posture and create stability on landing, and our skipping exercises, where we're keeping that same posture, we're learning to actively strike the ground and to time up that driving knee at takeoff.